Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Denanu, and with this video here, we're just going to be talking about something that I didn't think that I wasn't going to hear, at least for a while. Something that's sad, something that's kind of, fucked up. But Chadwick Boseman just died. The actor who was Black Panther in Marvel, and I know he's been in tons of other movies and stuff. But we're just going to talk about it a little bit. I know Jolly and I are probably going to make a whole nother video talking about things more in depthly, but I just woke up, got off work, slept for a few hours, and just now getting up, and the first thing I see in my YouTube timeline, and it's weird because this must have just happened. Like, I want to say within the past half hour, maybe a little bit more than that. Apparently he had cancer. He had colon cancer. I know my dad is going through the same shit now. So it's kind of hitting close to home for me, but it just goes to show you that, like, everybody has their own issues that they're dealing with. And with him having cancer, like, I've been seeing him push out movies ever since his name was getting bigger and getting out there because of Black Panther. Because he's been in tons of stuff since just only Black Panther, and he was in stuff before Black Panther. And he was a damn good actor. Like, he was on point. I like most of the stuff that he does. You know, I remember watching a lot of it from Netflix or on Amazon where I forget the titles because they're all kind of just generic movies. But I remember the one where I want to say a few months ago or last year where he was the cop chasing down these kids who robbed something, and then as the movie goes on, you find out, or he was finding out there was more to it, and it ended up being about police corruption. And then he did another movie where he was this guy from Africa, goes to America to figure out what happened to his sister, and he goes after people that like had his sister killed or something like that. Love that movie. I think the most recent thing I seen him in was the movie. What was it? I want to say Band of Brothers, but I know it's not Band of Brothers. But it was the one movie where the four black guys go to fight Vietnam and they find some stuff and they bury it and then go back for it when they're older. That was a cool movie too. So he was making like tons of movies and stuff, and you just don't get cancer and then die within like a year. Like, no, that shit takes a while. Like, some people can go quick, but it's you get sick and you're sick for a while. Like, I thought he was skinny, because a lot of it, he's a smaller built guy, but I didn't realize that maybe, because I've seen him and all that stuff, and I'm like, wow, he's a skinny dude. Okay. Usually when men get super, super skinny, either that's just their genetics, their body type, or it's just, maybe they got sick or they got some kind of disease that's kind of wasting them away a little bit. And I just thought he was just a skinny guy. Like he definitely, I'm assuming he's been battling this for probably the past few years. From what I'm seeing online and everything, people are saying the past 4 years, but even that's pretty quick, because he was in Black Panther. I mean, that had to be just around Black Panther. So he had to maybe had it before or after, or maybe he had it for a long time and just never let it show. And it just shows you that the quality of his acting, that he's able to hide that from everybody on screen. Maybe it's something that he kind of kept hidden in his personal life, and he didn't want that to affect anything. He didn't want the news to get out. His family probably didn't want it to get out because that would affect his, for lack of a better word, his money train, with Black Panther and making movies, getting his name out there. The moment you have something, or if something affects you, there goes your chances of getting hired for more movies. Maybe that's why he was doing more movies. Maybe he knew he was going to go out. I mean, you get sick, if you're going to die in a few years and stuff like that. So maybe that's why he did all of those movies, by his name getting out there and stuff. Maybe he was trying to get as much money as he possibly could for his family. I know being a man, that's kind of The biggest goal I would want to do the same thing. I know my dad's doing the same thing right now on his, on his way out. So as a man, I can respect that. But yeah, man, this is gonna change up a lot of stuff. I'm assuming Disney and Marvel, they would have to know, because he is their, or was their tent pole that was holding up the next phase amongst all of the other stuff that they're doing. He was the biggest character in there. If you take away Iron Man, you take away Captain America, he's the next, well, outside of, let's say, Spider-Man. I would say between him and Spider-Man. But Spider-Man can't hold up the MCU by itself. He can't do it. They're not going to give it to him because they don't own the rights to his character. So I was assuming, and I've even made videos talking about it, I was like, okay, well, they're going to rely probably on Black Panther, maybe Doctor Strange, to kind of be the old heads of the MCU, since they got a couple movies under their belt, that they're going to, use them to be the top tier, and then bring in some younger people to fulfill the roles and kind of move on with, the movies until you get, until they bring in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and bring back Captain America or Iron Man if that's what they want to do later. They're gonna have, they would have to do that. Now all of that's kind of just up in the air, because now if Chadwick Boseman is gone, then do they release Black Panther 2? They may just squash that and just be like, okay, well, that movie's unfinished. We're leaving it alone. They could do something like that. But at the same time, is Black Panther 2 already done? Because if it's finished, they're probably still going to put it out. They want to recoup their investment and make that $1 billion back. Because we all know what Black Panther 1 made. But at the same time, they can't just immediately recast some other guy and fulfill his role in the MCU either. That's like them recasting Iron Man. They could do it technically, yes, but the audience would definitely, they would fight some feedback because he was such a beloved character of Black Panther and the MCU and everything, going around that. And I have a feeling, either if Black Panther is 2, or if Black Panther, not Black Panther is 2, if Black Panther 2 is finished, they'll probably put it out. But if it's not finished, they may just decide to squash it out of respect for him and his family, and sit on his character for probably a little bit, maybe like 5 years, something like that. And then reintroduce him later as somebody else. That would be the smart thing to do. They've done it before with other characters, but it's something that they can't do right with the next movie. Like they just can't do that. They're not going to shoot Black Panther with a whole nother actor, and call it Black Panther 2. They're not going to do that. Unless they could somehow CG his face on somebody else's body, they can possibly do that, to maybe finish out some scenes and stuff that maybe were left unfinished. But again, and I'm assuming Disney would do that. They've done it before. They got the CG tech to make that happen if they wanted to do that. But at the same time, no matter what they do with his character, because they're gonna recast him eventually. That's too huge of a character not to. That's like Iron Man. That's like Robert Downey Jr. dying, and it's like, okay, well, are you gonna kill Iron Man off in your movies? No, they're gonna recast him eventually. I have no doubt. A lot of people are saying they shouldn't do that, and I'll be like, damn, that they're definitely gonna do that. But they know that they're gonna get some heat from the audience because of it, and it's the way it is. They're too big to fail at this point, so they're definitely gonna do it. But to just take it back with Chadwick Boseman here, it's just messed up. Because like he was never, or in my eyes, never really like my greatest actor when I think of acting, but he was damn good. Like he would, like in all the movies that he's in, he can play an action movie, he can play a drama movie, he could play those vengeful type roles and have it be believable, at least in my eyes. I'm not some super uber critic that's gonna, judge a movie by everything. I just judge it on my own personal scale of being just a regular Joe who's been watching movies all of his life. But he was a damn good actor. And a lot of people, from what I've seen in interviews and from what other people are saying about him, he seemed like a really cool guy. You know, nobody that let the fame really go to his head. He would always stop and take pictures. I know when Black Panther was out of him doing the thing, but that could have been just, maybe he was paid to do that due to marketing. But, everybody seemed to like him. Nobody seemed to have any kind of hate or throw any kind of dirt on his name. So it's just kind of fucked up, because it makes me wonder that if he didn't have cancer, like how far could he have gotten? Because he's still a young dude. Like he's what, 5 years older than me. I'm 37. I just turned 37 this year, or this month actually. This year and this month. A few days ago, as a matter of fact, on August 18th, and he was only 43. So again, this is hitting close for home for me again, because I'm like, damn, like I'm gonna go hit up my doctor, because you never know, man. It's one of those things where it's like, that's fucked up, and that's just the part of life that we all have to deal with, whether you're an actor making billions of dollars in movies or you're just the average Joe just going to see it, just like you and me. So, just because you got that money don't mean you don't have to deal with the same situations and the same problems, that surround death in society and losing family members and whatnot. Everybody shares that. And it's just fucked up, because the older that at least I get, I always see, and this is just based on my limited experience, with life. The older you get, the more bullshit with life you see. Whether it's companies trying to make money, they will do every shady thing in the book to try to get another dollar out of you. There's shitty politicians who will run this country into the ground and always promise some bullshit and never keep it. No matter what side of, the country you lean on, left, right, or independent, or whatever the one that they call both of them, there's always going to be the same issues that pop up because the government don't know how to deal with it, like global warming or social issues or racial tensions and all of that dumb shit. And it's like everybody has to deal with all of that crap, and that's the same crap this country's been dealing with since, I would say, coming out of World War II. And probably, hell, even when I have kids, probably years from now, that they're going to be dealing with the same bullshit that everybody else is dealing with, that we had to deal with, that our parents had to deal with. And it's just, life seems to always take the shittier, ironic choice. Like the people who get cancer and, let's say, get sick and die early, or that never get a good run in life, those are like the really, really nice people. Let's say like Chadwick Boseman, or those people who all they wanted to do was help people, and they would use whatever their station or whatever their situation in life to help other people or to promote goodness in the world. Those are the people that usually go out first. That's just the way life is. Like either you get cancer, or they go and have some kind of horrific accident. Let's say take like Paul Walker, where it's like, oh, they'll get into a car accident and die, and it's shit. But yet you take like a person who was an asshole, or like a person who chain smokes cigarettes every day, they'll live to be like 120. It's weird, but that's just the way life is. And it's just fucked up. I mean, that's, I can't put a positive spin on that, but it seems like, at least in my eyes, that's just the way life works. And I don't know. There's nothing good I can say about that to kind of wrap up this video. I really can't. And that's the sad part, but I just felt like I had to at least say something on it. I know, like I said, me and Jolly are probably going to do a whole video talking about just probably this topic. Once he finds out, I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't even know yet. But so if you guys want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on it and his thoughts, we're going to probably put out a video probably within the next day or two talking about this very thing. So if you guys want to see that, keep an eye on the channel. We'll probably put it out here recently or coming up here since it's probably the biggest news out there. But we're going to do that. And, if you guys want to hear us talk on it, just, like I said, keep an eye on the channel here. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, my quick initial thoughts. It's fucked up, to be honest. I don't really know what Marvel can do. They'll be all right. I don't know. I don't know what his family's going to do. They're going to have some rough roads ahead. I mean, just like anybody who loses somebody that long. I'm not sure if he had kids, but he probably had a wife and some kids, knowing him. You don't look that good and be 43 and don't have a wife and kids. That don't happen. So they're gonna probably be super messed up over the next few months. But I'm hoping they get over it, or they get over his death quick. Excuse me. And I can't say get over it, but I hope they learn to deal with it quickly. That way, it doesn't affect their lives permanently. Because a lot of people go through grief, and most people learn to deal with it. I know I went through my bout with it with, my parents, other people in my family, and you just kind of learn to deal with it. I mean, you don't ever get over it, but you learn to not let it affect you as much, because you got to keep pushing forward, and that's what we all have to do as human beings. So his family's going to have to do the same. But anyways, fellas, my name is the Nanu, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Peace out.